Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy, kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man, y'all get it. My QB got swag, my wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500, like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Shakedown.
Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Philly Shakedown podcast, episode 51. Eagles are in the off-season right now. Philly 500, what's going on? How's everything going with you?
Everything is much better than it was last week. Everything is going good. Can't complain. I'm still mesmerized by this weekend's playoff games, dude. That was some of the best football I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, very exciting. Now, I want to go over just in general, when you're watching these playoff games, the best divisional games we've seen in a long time, okay? And when you look at these teams, does it make you think about the Eagles and how close or how far the Eagles are to being a contender?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was going through my head, especially yesterday, especially that Chiefs-Bills game. It tells me the Eagles have a ways to go. I think we're not there yet. We're not there, you know. We got a ways to go. I think we're 2 years away at least.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The question comes down because if you look at all these games and you look at Burrow, look at Mahomes, look at Josh Allen. I mean, do we have the quarterback? That is going to be the biggest question for the Eagles. Do they have the quarterback? You need a quarterback to win in today's NFL. You do. And the question is going to be, can Hurts develop into a good passer? That we're going to find out.
Yeah. So as you're going into this offseason, do you believe Howie Roseman and not going after a quarterback? Do you think he'll still monitor a situation if a quarterback is available, veteran or, depending?
I don't believe Howie Roseman for 1 second, dude. I don't believe that Howie Roseman, when he says he's a star, I think he's going to look at every option. I do. The question is I can't see Aaron Rodgers coming to Russell. I don't see a veteran quarterback coming here. I do think they're going to look in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised, like a second round, something like that, they take a quarterback. But I just don't. I don't think they have really any other options but to give Hurts another year.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nobody in the draft, because at this point, like, there's maybe close to the draft or maybe a little bit past free agency, we'll see some quarterbacks maybe with good arms, and I don't know what's going to happen, but getting close to the once we get close to the draft, we'll find out that these quarterbacks that it's going to be tough. Like, you cannot waste a first round pick on a quarterback that you want to take a chance on. I think you have to know that he's a real talent, and no doubt in my mind, I think Howie Roseman is going to monitor every situation. He's hired a PI for Deshaun Watson case, and he's done all this different stuff. And you see, Russell Wilson's future is questionable as of right now, and there might be a big reset button for Seattle right now. So I don't know which direction they're going to go, but I think we talked about before the stream started. We're not picking three guys in the first round. Like, one of those first round, we need security. No. Like, explain what the Eagles are going to do with those three first round picks.
Well, here's the thing people have to remember. The Eagles have 3 first round picks. Okay, a lot of the reasons why they put themselves in that position was so that they could get a quarterback if they need a quarterback. Now, if you give Hurts one more year and they're still not 100% sure he's the guy, they need more time. They want to evaluate how he becomes in the passing game. If you pick, let's say you pick 2 defensemen and an offensive lineman, right? And you use all 3 picks in this year's draft. Then you go into next season, Hurts plays, and you decide he's not the guy. Now you don't have the picks to go get the quarterback. So you have to have insurance. If you keep Hurts next year, you have to trade one of those picks and make sure you have at least 2 first-round picks going into 2023. So there's no way I think the Eagles are taking 3 players in the first round. I don't think a lot of people understand that or have thought about that, but you can't do that because you have to make sure, just in case Hurts doesn't work out. Maybe he will, but just in case he doesn't, you have to have the ammo in the following draft. Now, if he works out and you have 2 first-round picks in the following draft, then you can use them however you want. But I don't see the Eagles picking 3 players in the first round.
No, I agree. I mean, it's going to be tough, and really, I think it's with the fans of how, even with the fans on how patient they could be with Jalen Hurts. Does Jalen Hurts have a limited skill set to where you cannot wait that more than 3 years for this to happen? You know what I mean? It's really tough for me because I watched Thomas Reederson on Twitter, and he's really good with all the missed opportunities Jalen Hurts had all season. He goes over every single game. I mean, Quez Watkins was missed 3 times on 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, when we've talked about how every game Devontae Smith is open.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, if you're not throwing to Devontae Smith, at least right now, you have to try to get some of the other playmakers. I mean, look, I don't care. I don't mind if they throw to Dallas Goedert most of these games. I'm totally fine. But when you're throwing him constantly, you're forcing it to him. And why are we still you draft a first round talent and you're not using him? I don't get it. So I think going into next year, if Hurts plays semi okay, and Devontae Smith or whoever else they bring in as a free agent or trade or whatever else receiver they bring in, if that's what they want to do, they're not getting enough catches. You might have to question this offensive coordinator and using these receivers to their strengths.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I think Hurts needs more weapons now. You look at yesterday's game. I mean, look at these games, especially the last game. Those quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Allen, have weapons everywhere. They have weapons, but they also have big arms. I mean, they made some throws that I don't think Hurts can make. Now, Hurts, he's never going to have the arm that those guys have. The question is, can he get better mechanically? Can he learn to read a defense? And can he become more accurate? Those are the 3 things he has to develop this year. Now, I don't know. We're not going to know till he plays. But those are the 3 areas in which he has to get better at. And if he does, then maybe we have our guy. And if he doesn't, then I don't think we will. I think this is going to be the year to make or break with him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's how I see it. And listen, I'm at the point with Hurts where I think he developed enough to give him 1 more year, but I'm leaving other options on the table. If you're going to tell me Deshaun Watson's cleared of all charges and he's available, or Russell Wilson wants to come to Philly, I'm not going to discount anything. But I'm assuming most likely it's going to be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, yeah. I mean, until we hear anything else. Just because the Eagles have 3 first-round picks right now, we're going to be linked to every quarterback. We're going to be linked to every quarterback, could be receiver. I mean, this is what's going to happen. So there's going to be some faulty, reports that come out that we're going to be.
Oh, it's going to be.
It's going to be nuts.
Ready. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Because we have 3 first-round picks. We're going to be linked to everybody and their mother. Everybody and their mother. You know it because the Eagles are automatically linked because they have the ammo to do it.
True.
I don't think they're going to go out and get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun. I think they're going to stick with Hurts. I do think that they will go through every quarterback in this draft, and it wouldn't surprise me if they brought somebody in just in case. But I mean, we just don't know. It's going to be fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, I agree. 03 with the super chat. Appreciate it very much, man. It's a thick 500 for the shakedown. I wish Bills won.
I know, I do too.
So, what do you think of the overtime rules? Do you think they need to be changed? Do you think something has to change with that? It's too.
Yeah. I meant to talk about it in today's video. I'm going to talk about it in tomorrow's video. But I think they got to change the rules, partly because today's NFL, it's like the defense is already at a disadvantage, all right? So before, for many years when they had the coin toss and it was first team win, it was like 75% of the time the team that got the coin toss won. I think they should go where each team gets at least 1 possession. So the Chiefs scored, then the Bills would have gotten an opportunity. Can you imagine the drama in that situation yesterday where the Bills have to go down and score. And then after both teams get at least one possession, then I think you can go to sudden death. But I think they deserve at least one possession.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's definitely something they really should check out, and it really didn't give the Bills a chance. I mean, you lose the coin toss, and really that's it. I thought the game was over at that point. Once
Yeah,
Kansas City
you
got
knew
the
it was
ball,
over.
done.
Yeah, the whole thing was, are they going to score a touchdown or a field goal? You knew they were going to go down to score. What was it, a touchdown or field goal? Dude, Josh Allen didn't get a chance in that overtime. He goes down there and scores a touchdown with 13 seconds left. 13 seconds, you think the game's over, and they get in field goal range. How is it that the Kansas City Chiefs can start at their own 25 with 13 seconds and get in field goal range in 13 seconds, but the Cowboys can't run a quarterback draw with 14 seconds left?
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, congratulations to Matthew Stafford too and the Rams. I think they're definitely they're hot right now. They're hot right now.
You know, a lot of people, Mark Holmes talking crap about Stafford all the time. Stafford 27-27. People on the TV are going, they need to just kneel it and go in overtime. What does he do? He throws a perfect pass. I mean, that was a perfect clutch pass to Cooper Kupp, who of course is always open. I mean, you know,
all year, yeah. And they throw to him.
I don't know how he's open.
All the time.
But all those games, all those teams, the Rams, the Chiefs, Bills, the Bengals. I mean, Burrow sacked 9 times, but he's still making big-time throws when he has to. That was on another level. We're not there yet. We're a ways from it. We'll get there. But, I mean, that was a different level yesterday.
Yeah. Morgan Holmes with the super chat. Appreciate it very much, man. Said draft round 1, move up, swap picks for edge rusher, throw in regular to pad the deal, then linebacker and corner or safety, free agency Adams or Ridley.
Draft round 1, move up, swap picks. I agree with moving up to get. I think to me, I'm all for moving up because I don't believe Howie can pick at 15 and 16. I don't trust him. The less picks that go by, the better. So that's why I would be okay with moving up. You know, they definitely need a safety, and look, you need a veteran wide receiver. You know, and I talked about this in my video today. There's not. I wouldn't call them rumors because I don't know if they're rumors, but there's whispers that DK could be shopped around. DK Metcalf shopped around. No, I can't. I'm mentally I have PTSD on that draft pick. I want to make it right.
Is Howie forgiven after that? Is Howie forgiven after that though?
If he trades for DK Metcalf, I'll forgive him. I just can't
just
get
like
over
that,
it, dude.
It's like, no,
there's they're people talking that he could be on the block. I'm not saying, but there's whispers. If there's any truth to it, I'm going after him.
Big T with the super chat. Appreciate it, man. What's going on? He said, would love to hear you guys take on George Karlaftis, edge number 3 from Purdue, immigrated from Greece at 16, will be the NFL Greek freak. I trade up top 10 for him like a young prime Kerrigan. I haven't looked at any edge rushers yet.
I haven't looked at him yet.
No.
The only guy I've looked at is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah,
who I absolutely love. But I'll be doing a lot of Philly React. So I'm gonna go through him. I'm gonna go through every quarterback, every linebacker, everybody I can.
Yeah, no, great. I mean, I've been looking at the linebackers the past week, and man, this is a draft where there is some linebacker talent in this draft. There really is. Between Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean and Christian Harris, I love from Alabama. Guy is a physical specimen. Guy is his lateral movement is fantastic. Great cut. There's a lot of good. There's a couple between Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. I see not much of a not great on coverage, but Devin Lloyd and Christian Harris from Alabama. My God, they can cut. Christian Harris can cover running backs, tight ends, slot receivers. I know it probably won't happen, but I'm really loving these linebackers this year. So definitely gonna look out for. We'll be in draft mode soon. So we'll be
the Eagles taking a linebacker in round one,
I know.
to me, is just so. It would be so unheard of. It would be a refreshing thing. I would love it, but I just don't see them doing it. I don't think there's any way that the first pick is not a defensive end. Like it's going to be a defensive line pick. We'll say it just is. I know how they think. The Eagles. Here's the Eagles' top 3 most valuable positions. Okay, and Joe Banner said this before too, so I know it's true. Quarterback 1, tackles, left tackle, right, that's the blind spot tackle, and then defensive end. Those are like their top 3 where they'll pay the most for.
Right.
So I think that's where they're going.
Yeah, they could. They could. I mean, look, I'm fine. Like if as long, I mean, I think as lucky as we are, I mean, Howie takes care of the trenches, so he knows that defensive line is not good enough. The pass rush was not good enough. The secondary was the highlight of the defense, so you have to go for edge rusher. They could add another defensive tackle in the mid rounds if they really want, or bring someone early. I don't know.
If that defensive end was good, if that line was better, that secondary would have looked like unbelievable.
Yes,
it would have looked unbelievable.
Yeah, true. Season says, hey, guys, do you see the GOAT House has the Eagles being a fit to go get Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins?
I don't want Cousins.
No.
At all. Derek Carr, to me, would be a placeholder. You know,
Is he better than Cousins?
Well, yeah, I think he's better than Cousins. I mean, Cousins can look like amazing, but then he looks horrible at the same. Like, like one series he could look great, then he looks horrible. I don't think he's a big time quarterback. I don't think he wins big time games. Carr's been to the playoffs one time, so
right. We got Torville says you have Mahomes and Allen being clutch all day yesterday, and then you have Dak who runs up the middle and hands the ball to the center like a dope.
Yeah, I mean, you saw two of the best young quarterbacks in this league, man. The young quarterbacks are taking over the NFL, which is nice. I'm sick of seeing Brady and even Rodgers. Like, I want to see young guys. So to me, it's exciting to see Mahomes and Allen go out and play the way that they did. Now you have Burrow in the AFC Championship game. So I mean, all that is great. I mean, even Stafford's never been to the NFC Championship game.
No.
So you got new guys.
Yeah, I don't know how far Stafford's been. He's been to what?
I think maybe he got out of the first round of playoffs once.
Yeah. That wasn't the Dallas.
I think it might have been, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was the PI call that screwed him over, I think, or something.
I think that was Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay. Sorry. That was Green Bay. I don't know why I keep switching those teams around with that game. Corny Clarence, what's going on, man? He says, Joey, my guy, sub 500. What's going on, bro?
What's up, my man? How are you?
Rishi Liar says, I want Ridley in free agency, a defensive end in the draft, Nakobe Dean at linebacker, Sauce Gardner at cornerback.
So I'm assuming you trade. He's talking trade Ridley, draft Dean, and right. Sauce Gardner. I like Sauce Gardner. I watched a little bit of him. I haven't watched the linebackers yet. So those would be your 3 first-round picks. Those sound good, but let's say you do that, just for argument's sake. You draft Ridley. You trade for Ridley. You get Dean and Sauce Gardner. Now you play all next season. Hurts isn't the guy. What do you do then?
Right.
You win 7 games. He's not the guy. You have 1 first-round pick. How are you going to get a quarterback?
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, you're not, and plus, like, if you think they're going to draft 3 players in the first round, I really doubt it's going to happen. That they need to get another first-round pick for 2023 at the end of the day.
I would give a second round for Ridley if they want to take a second for Ridley. Like a third conditional second that he plays so many games, I would do it.
I don't think he's going to cost the first round pick anyway. He only played 5 games last year. Like, how much worth does he have right now?
Well, the thing is the mental stuff. He's got some issues that made him leave the season. You can't. You have to be sure that doesn't happen again. We have Jalen Reagor who wants a fresh start. He wants out of Philly, right? That's what we're hearing. I mean, it really is going to have to be mentally tougher than Reagor. God, I'd get Reagor out here so fast. I'll drive him to the airport. I don't care. He stinks.
I'll drive to the airport.
He stinks.
Eagles Uncensored Podcast. What's going on, man? So what up, Joey? What's good? 500 hope all as well. Love the show. You two kill it. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate you.
It. No, I agree, dude.
I mean, really, you don't know. What if he comes affiliated, plays 3 games, and says, I got to take a break again. I can't risk that, So I'm not giving a first-round pick. Maybe like a conditional mid that if he plays so many games, something like that. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to look. I mean, obviously, they're going to look into it on why he only played 5 games, and they would have to really look into it. So, I mean, they'll have contact with him or through his agent or whatnot of what's really going on. So, I mean, yeah, you have to make sure that he's going to be fine mentally and he's all right. I mean, obviously, you come, as a person, and what's going on in your head comes first before anything as a player. So,
right.
Anthony,
go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. Hopefully, we're looking for a defensive coordinator soon. Hopefully, Gannon gets hired.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the Texans have a lot of second interviews right now. I forgot who, but they have a couple. There's at least 3 coaches that have second interviews right now. So Gannon is one of those coaches right now. So I
feel like we can't get this lucky. I feel like we're not gonna get this. We're not that lucky. And if you don't, if you do keep Gannon, the way to make improvements is you have to improve the line. The defensive line has to get better because he's not going to blitz. You have to get consistent pressure with your front 4. So it becomes edge rushers become even more valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah, good. Yeah, the Oasis says, "What's going on, man?" He says, "I understand what everyone saying about this weekend game with, but Mark Ripken, Jeff Hostile, or Doug Williams, Brad Johnson, Nick Foles, Trent Dilfer are not elite, but they won the Super Bowl." Yeah, look, yeah, I mean, some of these players definitely, but it's not about what you have on paper as a roster because you can go out and spend all this money in free agency. You can, what I mean? But it comes down to coaching and then and the mechanics that your quarterback has, and it's just coaching at the end of the day.
Well, here's the thing. Mark Rippon, Jeff Hostetler, Doug Williams was a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
They come from a different era. They come from a different era where you ran the ball more and you didn't throw as much. You might throw the ball 15 to 25 times a game at most in that era. So it's very hard to compare. Dilfer, the same type of thing. Dilfer also had, it wasn't quite as much of a passing game. You still ran the ball a lot, and he had one of the greatest defenses. You don't have to necessarily have an elite quarterback to win. But if you look at it, most of the time, most likely, if you go back and look at most Super Bowls, there's an elite quarterback in there. So, yes, it can happen. And I'll say this about Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a streaky quarterback. Nick Foles can play at an elite level for 2, 3, 4 games, okay? He played at an elite level in the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl. He did. I just think that it's very hard to win without a really good quarterback in today's football.
Yeah, Nick Foles was what played at an elite level, but it was the team around him, not just the starters. It wasn't based off of 2 players, a quarterback and a receiver. It was based off of starters, backups that had to take the starting role, and third string guys.
Well, you look at everybody. Right. You don't. I'm not saying you always have to win with an elite quarterback. It's just that the chances are you need one. If you want to win consistently, you're going to need a good quarterback. It doesn't have to be top 2 quarterback, but you need a top 10 quarterback, I think. I just do.
Yeah. So 03 with the super chat. Appreciate it very much. Says AFC has Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Pat, Lamar, and NFC odds. Olds.
Old. Yeah, NFC. Yeah, he's saying the NFC quarterbacks are old. Yeah, AFC has all the young guys: Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Pat, Lamar. That's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, Russell, Brady's old. Rodgers is old. It's very true. A lot of good quarterbacks in the AFC. No question.
Grind says, I don't trade up. I go with the 15th pick, get a mod Sauce Gardner, 16, get a labor Dean, and trade 19 for next year unless Kelsey retires, get Tyler Linderbaum. How you don't F this up, you skunk.
I really like Tyler Linderbaum. Like I may take him anyways. You know, I may take him anyways. If I keep 2 of my 3, I may take him because I think he's an absolute monster. I have no problem with Sauce Gardner. To me, the only question I have is where do we get the pass rushers from? Like, to me, that is the number one need is you need an edge rusher. They have to get edge rushers.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the front office is going to talk to Kelsey and make before the even free agency. I don't know when there's going to be a decision made. I mean, if Kelsey retires, I mean, this Tyler Linderbaum might be the pick. I mean, it might be. It might be automatic. I mean, I think the Eagles will have him at 15 if that's the case. I mean, by that time, I think he should be available unless someone, you know.
We have to also remember this. A lot of the mock drafts that you look at right now are going to dramatically change because we haven't even had the combine. They usually start changing right after the combine and then scouting days. The question is going to be what quarterbacks are going to rise up in the top 10. If you get a quarterback or 2 in the top 5, those picks become very expensive. If there are none, then you have opportunities to move up if you want to.
Even this year, I wouldn't even mind trading for. I mean, not trading. I wouldn't mind going to the draft and getting like a bruiser back or something this year.
No, I don't mind that either at all. Hey, click on Cyclone 58 thing. You see it?
What? Lamar
Minka,
Jackson?
About Minka Fitzpatrick.
Hold on.
Do you see it? Because that is an interesting name. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably close.
I'm trying to look for it.
Well. Anyways, he says Minka Fitzpatrick's a free agent. If that is true, I don't know that if he's a free agent, I'm going after him. That's exactly what they need in the secondary. They need a quarterback at safety. I would go after him in a second.
How old is he now?
No, I think he's fairly young. He's got it. He's probably somebody can tell us, but I think he's got to be like no older than 28 years old. He's still
25. He's 25.
You got to get him. Remember, he got traded from Miami to Pittsburgh for and we all want. I remember I was like, go give a first round pick for him. Yes, if he's available, I'm looking to see his age. Yeah, if he's available, he's 25 years old.
That's
crazy. From Old Bridge, New Jersey. Yeah, I'm going after him in a second.
Yeah, you're not going to be able. You're not going to. And so, what you're saying to bring back Rodney McLeod, if that's the case? I mean, not Anthony Harris.
I don't think. I'm not sure that I'm not sure McLeod and Harris are going to be back anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think Anthony Harris is going to be back. I don't. And then you have Kevon Wallace. I mean, dude, you see the kid Gabriel Davis yesterday, right? From Buffalo. 4 touchdowns. Guess who was picked right before him? Somebody sent this to me on Twitter. Kevon Wallace.
No crap. Oh, my God. We are missing on so much right now.
I mean, Kevon Wallace went the pick before him. I mean, dude.
This front office has got to get their crap together. It's just,
it's crazy.
It's bad, bro. Like that's bad. I mean, nothing's worse. Nothing's worse than. I think with the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pick, I think you missed out on a lot of receivers. You missed out on a lot of receivers. You missed out on McLaurin and A.J. Brown and obviously DK.
They missed out on Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. It's bad.
See, that's the thing that when you miss on a pick, then you have to try to fix it the following year. It screws you up. Like, let's go back to the Miles Sanders draft. If the Eagles with the second round pick take DK Metcalf, then you don't have to draft Jalen Reagor the following year because you've already solved your wide receiver spot. So you get to draft from another position. Maybe they take an edge rusher, an offensive line. Maybe they took a linebacker. Who knows? But when you constantly miss, then you're trying to fix the mistakes. They drafted Rager, and then they had to draft Devontae Smith because they didn't draft the right guy. So to me, this is why I don't like Howie drafting. This is why I don't want him drafting.
It's not even just the drafting aspect of it, but it's there's no way that Nick Sirianni's this stupid to keep JJ on the field as a blocker that and a wasted body, and keep Jalen Rager on the field just because he's a first round pick. I
have a hard time believing he wants JJ Ortega-Whiteside. I'll tell you what, that JJ Ortega-Whiteside's so valuable as a wide receiver. He blocks, and everybody knows that when he's on the field, he's going to block. They know what's coming. He stinks.
You're not gonna. This team is in deep trouble. You're not gonna win a championship that way. You're not gonna be competitive. You're not even gonna win the division this way. If this is how you're gonna try to, you're gonna take, Howie's gonna pick a bad player and he's gonna say to himself, he's good as much as everyone says he's bad, and then he's gonna justify this pick and start this guy for the next few years. We're in trouble.
You can't keep justifying. At some point, you got to say, you know what, he ain't the guy. We'll know how they think with Derek Barnett. If they re-sign Derek Barnett, then you know that they haven't learned their lesson. If they let him walk, then I'll say, okay, well, at least they're willing to accept the mistake. This draft, you cannot mess up. You cannot mess up this draft. You just can't. You have to hit on these guys.
Yeah. Yep, it should be interesting. F-Man Brad. Oh, wait, I just missed. Sorry. Shoot. Someone said, Joey, you have a world-class singer on your show and you want to have him sing.
That's true. I'm resting my voice today. I have to get ready for this upcoming weekend.
Ryan Dick says, Teron Jackson showed promise in the latter half of the season. He could be a Vinny Curry, hopefully. A good rotational guy, definitely.
He did show. I thought he did. But can we sit there today and say that, hey, this is the future, we can go with him, we don't have to use resources? I can't even say that with Josh Sweat. So, but he did show stuff,
So what I think, what do you think about Milton Williams?
I like Milton Williams. I think he's a good young piece. I think he's a really good rotational guy, and we'll see how much more he can develop, But like Taron Jackson, none of these guys are guys that I can say, hey, we're going to build around him for the future. If I get an opportunity to get edge rusher, I'm doing it.
So we talked about this before the stream a little bit. So Fletcher Cox. So you watch Aaron Donald just destroy in the playoffs. I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, we're trying to give Fletcher Cox help, the highest paid defensive player on our team, this much help. But yet there are fans out there that when I talk bad about him, people are telling me that it's not his fault. It's the scheme. Part of it could be the scheme. I mean, definitely, but I don't know if he's descending. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it was. I do think the scheme had something to do with this year, but what about the previous years? I mean, we're like about 3 years of him kind of tapering off a little bit.
Yeah. No, I
agree. Still think he's a good player, no question about it. But Hargrave he started great, right? He was killing it. As soon as the team started realizing they could double Hargrave and not Fletcher Cox, his sack numbers went down, but you didn't see Cox start to get a bunch of sacks. So I do think he's on the decline. I don't think you can get rid of him, though, because of the way the contract is structured.
Yeah, agreed. No, I agree. James Shirley says, what do y'all think about Brandon Graham is going to do next season? Coming
hard to say.
Right.
Hard to say. He's going to be a great, he's going to be a great leader. He's going to give them juice. He's going to do all those things. But coming back from an Achilles at his age, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how many snaps he can get. I don't know. It's a different question mark.
Juan says, have y'all heard the DK Metcalf trade rumors to Eagles? Yeah. I don't want to hear this anymore because I can't.
It's not coming from me. I didn't start this. I don't know where this is coming from. I won't. All I'm saying is, if it's true, I would give a first round pick for the DK Metcalf. I would have to. DK Metcalf is like the closest thing I've seen to Terrell Owens. I want him.
Yeah,
I want
remember
to
when
fix this.
we faced Seattle and Jim Schwartz said something? He said some stupid crap to DK Metcalf before the game started or something.
He destroyed him. Could you imagine DK Metcalf and Devontae Smith? That's ridiculous, dude. Hurts don't even need to worry about accuracy. Just throw it up there.
Just throw it up.
DK will get it.
Yeah, I mean, I
was so mad about that. I'm still upset about that. I mean, the Eagles said that he wasn't on their board because of medical, but they draft Sidney Jones. They draft Landon Dickerson, who worked out. But you can't tell me DK Metcalf shouldn't have been picked. That was your second round pick. If there's any shot, any time to take a shot on a guy, it was that pick. You already made 2 picks. I'm not over that. I'm not over that. To me, that bothers me more than Jefferson.
Let me tell you something. If Howie's going to go all in and he gives up a first-round pick for a player, which when's the last time he gave up a first-round pick for a player in free agency?
Jason Peters.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if it was Howie, but
yeah, it's like he gives nothing. Like in recent, like if we can go over like his reputation on trading, which his trades are always good because we don't really get fleeced, but he doesn't give anything more than a 4th-round pick. I mean, it's
Philly 500 fantasize over DK. I do. I sit there, I have DK in my head at night. I got all these pictures of him in Eagles gear, and I'm like, I love DK Metcalf.
So MB says if we go after any big name free agent, I'm all in on Hassan Reddick.
Me too. I think Reddick can play 4-3 defensive end. There's people out there that think that he can't. I think he can, but whether you go after a Reddick or not, you need an elite pass rusher. So whoever's available, including Reddick, I would do it.
Yeah.
I like Reddick. I think he can play.
Yeah.
Listen, if you end up with a new defensive coordinator and let's say you bring in a Vic Fangio and you go to a 3-4 defense, then you definitely get him.
Yeah, true that. The Hero Squad said we have cap space and 3 first-round picks. No way we should lose the playoffs. Please don't F the draft Howie Roseman. Could. It could happen.
It could be very well
draft day. It could happen easily.
Here's what I think is going to happen. People get mad at me for saying it, but my prediction is the Eagles are going to take 15 and 16, move into the top 10, and they're going to trade the 19th for a pick next year. So they're going to come out with 1 first-round player, an extra second-round pick, and a first-round pick next year. That's what I think they're going to do. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I mean, there's already rumors about the Eagles trading back 2 first-round picks for a while. And that could happen, too, because they could say to themselves, well, we need more ammo for 23, maybe in case they need a quarterback or, depending if they think they're going to be winning a lot of games next year or not. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to have an insurance policy in case Hurts doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jim Newrod says, Cal, really for a 3rd round in Jalen Reagor, please take him off our hands. They should add him. I mean, look, if he wants to prove it to himself and go to another team, a fresh start, I think that'd be the perfect spot for him. It's a fresh team and a rebuilding team right now. And,
he needs to go somewhere where they don't watch football, like Jacksonville. So nobody will know who he is.
Rodney Wyatt says Allen Robinson or Mike Williams for free agency.
I'll tell you in a minute. How old is Allen Robinson? I've got to look it up. To me, I don't want a receiver over 30. 28 August, so he'll be 29 by next year. Mike Williams is definitely probably like 26, right?
Yeah, he's younger, yeah.
Mike Williams is 27.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go Robinson. I think he has a little more deep speed.
Yeah, he does. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's his break of his routes. I mean, his route running.
But I'd take either one.
Yeah. Both big body receivers too.
But if DK Metcalf's available,
You need to stop with this.
I can't help it. I want it to be true.
It's. I just don't see how he giving up a first round pick.
No, he won't. He won't. No, there's no way.
What are you gonna give up? You gotta sweeten the deal, though. So if they get rid of Russell Wilson, you're gonna throw Minshew in that deal or something. You gotta throw something in there. You can't just do a straight up pick for a player.
I just want DK Metcalf.
I don't care. I just want him. We got 203 in the chat. Much love to everybody joining the show tonight. I know we canceled the past couple of days just because of scheduling and stuff like that. So apologize to everybody. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. You guys haven't subscribed to Philly 500, the better half of the Philly Shakedown podcast. His link is in the description below. We already have started for my channel. We've already started the draft videos, membership videos at the pinned comment above. We've been doing our reactions to some of the draft prospects. We're gonna be doing them every other day. We'll be doing them. So gonna have a lot of work this offseason, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Philly 500 does reactions too for his members as well. So definitely check that out when that.
I probably wait. I probably will start doing them around the combine. I've got a couple I did for channel members. I'll probably release those, but I want to wait till the combine. Because it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to stream the combine live. I'm going to take a couple of days off work and stream it because it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We should do a Philly Shakedown podcast watching the whatchamacallit.
We could do that. If you want to do that, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I always watch the combine every year. We could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Evan Brad says Kavon Wild should definitely not come back.
Yeah, he's been a disappointment, man. It's been a disappointment with him.
Torreville, Gabriel Davis outproduced Rager's career in one game.
My gosh. I know, dude. It's crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah, another one with the DK Metcalf rumors. Where is this coming? I don't know.
I don't know where it's coming from, but I am flooded with it. And I did read one article talking about he may want out of Seattle. They may look to move him. And I'm thinking, I will do that in a second.
Yeah, Marion Johnson says we passed up on Ayuk. Ayuk is we passed up.
That was he was my fourth best receiver on there.
Yep.
What's amazing about the Niners is I've never seen a team where they have so many guys that are great at yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, all of them.
Yeah. No, even using Debo as a running back as well. I love the way they used him in that backfield too. I mean, he could find the open space, but he's twitchy. He's real twitchy. So, the Astropologist says we literally picked Marcus Epps from some bums practice squad, and he's pretty darn good. Let's quit acting like we do.
Really, he's darn good. How good? I mean, what is he? I mean, what kind is Brian Dawkins? Is he? I don't even know that he's a starter.
No, he's a role player at the end of the day.
I think he's a rotational safety. He's not. Could we have had Tom Brady? Yeah, everybody could have Tom Brady. That is a miss, one in a million misses, right? But what about all the other guys that we've missed on? We missed on so many guys early in the draft. I'm so tired of losing out on good players. I really am. And then it's like, they make one good pick here or there, and then I'm supposed to give Howie a pass.
Yeah,
What about all the other years? The guy's been in the organization since 2010. He stinks at drafting players. I can't take it. He has one good draft here, one good draft there, picks a good guy here, takes a flyer late on a guy. What about top-end talent? What about all the guys at the top of the first round that we always miss on? I'm sick of it. I don't trust this guy for my life.
Yeah, and it comes down to drafting the players, and then you have to make sure that your coaches are putting them in the game plan and making sure they're producing at a high level, which I don't think they did this year. I don't think these receivers I think he had flashes. I think Devontae Smith did whatever he could with what was given to him on a platter for these games. But
what about Danny Watkins? You need a fireman? Draft him. Danny Watkins stunk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I can't. Listen. Howie They use their analytic department, especially early in the draft. That's all they focus on. The ones that we hit late in the draft, because they use their scouts and they take flyers on what their scouts are saying. They don't listen to their scouts. They listen to their analytics department. This is why we miss out on guys all the time.
The Eagles are going to have they're going to have to dig deep in their pockets for something defensively at least, because they have no safeties. Steven Nelson can end up leaving. We need edge rushers. I mean, there's no way you're doing this in one offseason unless you're paying somebody. I mean, they're going to have to throw money at somebody.
Jesse Davis. No, go. Jesse Davis says that 50% of first-round picks are bust. That's true, but the Eagles have an 80 to 90% bust in the first round. We literally, out of all the teams in the last 10 years, we have literally the worst percentage of first-round busts. We're like one of the worst in first-round busts.
And yet and yet this GM is still in the building.
Still there. He's not a talent evaluator. He can't draft for shit. He does other things good. He's good at contracts, supposedly. He does great with salary cap. He does great with trading. Okay, he did great with the salary cap last year. Great. But guess what? He was the reason we were in salary cap out.
Yeah, right.
Okay, he's good at trades. He's okay with contracts, but he's horrible at evaluating talent. He understands how to build a team from the inside out, but he can't evaluate players. We have one of the worst records when it comes to drafting first-round picks in the last 10 years. That's on him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, something has got to change. There's got to be some type of, there's got to be a control factor to where there's more of a collaborative effort in this draft. And I couldn't even tell in this draft, if you're going to tell me we're going to move back from 6 to 12, only give away a first round pick, moving up 2 spots to get Devontae Smith, I wouldn't believe you. If you told me that was going to happen, I wouldn't believe you at all. So I don't know if we can't congratulate Howie for one good pick. And
I'm not congratulating Howie for shit. I'm not. I'm sorry. I want him not to be evaluating talent. And just because he has good picks here or there, it's too many misses. Way too many misses, especially in the first round. When you have a problem and your staff and your scouts are saying we want this player and this player, and you go against it because some guy with big thick glasses is calculating the calculations on the computer, and you pick what they say, I have a problem with it. Yes, 50% of the first round picks are bust, but for the Eagles, it's like 80 or 90%. We have the worst record in the last 10 years on first and second rounds. That isn't good. That isn't good.
Big Pun says, Lurie having his back blown out right now by Howie. Their bond will never break. Wasn't there... wasn't there rumors about Howie and Jeffrey Lurie having a split on Hurts, like that Jeffrey Lurie wanted to keep him and give him more time, and Howie kind of wanted to move on? Was there some type of rumor this year about that?
Yeah, there is. Here you go. My man Philly Finest sent this to me. I'm going to hold this up. It says, NFL rumors. Dallas Cowboys Amari Cooper, Seattle Seahawks DK Metcalf, and Falcons Calvin Ridley are likely to be traded per all season. Per CBS. Yeah, Mark Holmes keeps blocking everybody. He's all pissed off. Mark Holmes says, Patrick Mahomes is overrated. If Dak had his players, he would do the same thing. You watched last night's game?
Yeah, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that.
I'm sorry, I'm a little fired up. The Howie Roseman thing is a soft spot. It's like an open sore for me because it just drives me crazy that we miss on so many players. So I apologize if I'm getting a little animated about it, but I can't trust this guy.
Deepa says, I want DK Metcalf if he wants out.
I do too. We're
gonna hype this.
I just think that would be such a hard team to defend. I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah, well, all we could do is imagine because it's not gonna happen. I just can't. Look, if Howie Roseman gives up a first round pick for a player, I'd be shocked.
And Mark Holmes has compared it. There's videos. I just shake my head. He's probably taking those videos off as we speak.
Here we go. Ashford says, "Oh, here we go. The Fletcher hate train is chugging along." At this point, bro, like,
No, I don't hate Fletcher Cox at all. I don't think you can get rid of him. I just don't think that I just don't think he's the same guy he was in 2017.
At the end of the day, what he's getting paid is not showing on the field. I mean, that's it.
How many sacks did he have this year? What, 3 maybe?
Let me check this out quick. I don't want to guess.
I forget this. I'm going to find a statistic because it was there last year to draft, and it was talking about the Eagles had the top 3 worst draft picks in the first, second round over the last 10 years. And all the 2 other teams that were there were like Cleveland and Jackson. It was like bad teams.
3.5 per 21.
3.5 sacks.
Only 17 total 27 tackles, 17 solo tackles.
Yeah,
this year.
I love Fletcher Cox. He's an Eagle great. But I don't know that he's the same guy he was a few years ago. But he's still a good player. I still think he can play, especially if you can get some edge rush. If you can get some other guys that are threats on the outside, I think it'll help him in the inside. I do.
Just call me Flair. What's going on, man? He says, Joe, you missed my membership message. You and Philly now did it back-to-back weeks. It does. I apologize because those membership messages do not. They don't show up on StreamYard, and I'm even looking at my phone right now, and I don't even see it. But I'm sorry, bro. I'm really sorry. It just happens sometimes. When you use StreamYard, they don't show up. But I appreciate it, though. If you could post, whatever you said in there, if you could put it in there, in the live chat, appreciate it. Let's see here.
Why would Eagles give up Justin Jefferson for Reagor? That's a great question, Aiden. And what the reports were, what we got was that the Eagles staff, their scouting department, loved Justin Jefferson. They wanted Justin Jefferson, but the analytics department told Howie after computing the calculations to take Jalen Reagor. And so the analytics said Reagor, the scouts said Jefferson, and they went with Reagor. And they did the same thing in the second round where they took Hurts over Jeremy Chin, which was another guy the scouting department wanted to get. So the Eagles, for whatever reason, especially early in the draft, they focus heavy on the analytics, too much so. And then late in the draft, they focus and they give the scouts more opportunities to draft guys. That's why you've seen us actually hit on some guys late in the draft.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll see. I mean, if it comes down to it, we'll wait, what is going on? This chat is being really weird right now. There's empty spaces where people are saying stuff. That's weird.
Is that Howie Roseman?
It's Howie Roseman. We gotta bring out those T-shirts. We gotta make those Howie Vision T-shirts.
Oh, Howie Vision. I know. Howie Vision. Boy, we're gonna have some Howie Vision this year.
Big Pun says, like and sub to both channels, fellas. Best Eagles content on the internet. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Alex says Brooks could retire, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. I mean, that's the rumors right now. So, that would help. If he retires, then we probably won't get any dead money from it and probably free up. From what I saw, the numbers was we free up like $13 to $16 million from that. So, you can have over $40 million. You can have over $40 million in cap space if this happens, because I don't know what team is going to take on a $19 million cap hit. Plus, us thinking that Brandon Brooks was going to come back at the end of the year, we figured if he even played a couple games at the end of the year, kind of raised that trade value a little bit. So now, since he didn't play and, no update on Brandon Brooks since the bye week, since they kind of talked about it for 2 seconds.
That was the most bizarre thing with Brandon Brooks. What the hell happened? Was it a mental thing or something? That was weird. How this whole thing happened. Every week, Sirianni would come out and go, I have no new updates on Brandon Brooks. Every week. You can't go into the season with Brooks anymore.
Yeah, and yet they go into, obviously, the end of the year press conference with Howie and Nick, and they talked about it and pretty much said they've been in conversations with him all year. And it's like, okay, well, I don't care if it's private, but at least they could say something to say, there's private, there's some issues going on with him, which, they haven't said a word about it, but sooner or later, I mean, now another question, what are you going to do with Isaac Samalo? What are you going to do with him with Landon Dickerson at left guard now?
Can he play right guard?
He's got a big contract. I don't know.
Can he play right guard? The question is Landon Dickerson, was he supposed to play left guard when they drafted him? They drafted him as a center. Am I right? He was drafted as a center. So are they going to move him back to center or keep him at left guard? Now, me personally, I don't think you move him off of left guard because him and Mulata are brutal together. So I would not move him to center, but Sayamalu can't play center. I don't want him at center. I don't like him at center. I think you got to. I think he's got to become a rotational piece, and you got to get yourself another right guard.
Yeah.
And hopefully Kelsey plays one more year. I hope Kelsey comes back.
No, I do too. I think my gut feeling says he'll be back for one more year. I mean, that's my gut.
I think so. I would like Kelsey to come back and be like, all right, this is my last year. So we know. You know what I mean? And we can send him off properly.
Right. Brian says, here what I would do about the defensive lineman meatheads. Pause. What if Gannon is the reason defensive line didn't play well? Next season, I start Milton and Hargrave in middle and play Cox on the outside with Sweat.
I think Cox can play 3-4 defensive end. He could be a defensive end. But on 4-3, I don't know he can be an edge rusher on the outside. I don't know if it would work. You can do it at times in certain situations, but I don't know if he could be a full-time 4-3 defensive end. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of moving him because I just don't think he has the.
Now, if you ran a 3-4 defense, he could play 3-4 defensive end, and then you get another outside rusher. Get an outside linebacker. That would be all right. But I don't know. I don't see the Eagles going with 3-4.
I think you have to just bring Graham back and just test him out and just see how he's doing. He's still on contract, and at this point, you have to get another edge rusher in free agency. And I hope, like you said earlier, I hope it's not re-signing Brandon Graham, because I'm telling you right now, if they do that stupid move where they bring back players just because,
you mean Derek Barnett?
Yeah, because he's not going to be expensive. I mean, what is he going to get in free? I mean, what contract is he going to get in free agency at this point?
I don't know, but he milked us dry. He got $10 million last year for like 4 sacks?
Yeah, you're talking
and about 10 penalties.
You're talking about restructuring players. You're talking about restructuring players, and you don't. And that's one of the guys like you should be restructuring. Like that's everyone else produces besides him.
Yeah.
Of all the restructures, you don't.
Yeah, he's got to go, in my opinion. He's got to go.
MB says the Eagles don't trade for QB. I need Ojabo, Sauce, Dean, and trade a pick for a first next year if you can.
Yeah, you got to trade for that first round pick next year. I think that's key, especially if you stick with Hurts. It's just an insurance policy, but I think you have to. I haven't watched this kid Ojabo. Everybody keeps talking about. I want to go see him. I need to go watch him.
Ojabo is the opposite defensive end to Hutchinson in Michigan. That's Ojabo, right? I think it is.
I don't know. I haven't watched him.
I think.
I don't know. Is he Michigan?
Yeah, I think he is Michigan.
Well, then the question would be: Is he producing like that because Hutchinson's on the other side? See, people used to say that about Clyde Simmons back in the day. Oh, because Reggie left and Clyde stayed, and he's still a beast. So yeah, why not? I need to go watch him.
Nate says Dickerson was an absolute stud. One or more pieces, we are set on the O-line for the future with him. Yeah, no, I mean that Dickerson pick was huge.
Yeah, that was an analytic pick, but he knew it was a risky pick. Everybody knew that kid was a first-round pick if he could stay healthy, and he did. Now it was only 1 year he stayed. He's got to stay healthy for 3-4 more years. But so far, so good. It looks like a great pick. However, you could have taken JOK or Asante Samuel Jr., and I still think you could have come back up and got him. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we needed corner badly. I mean, like Steven Nelson was a signing that, was a help signing that, a big play Slade definitely helped us with that, with talking to him throughout the offseason. But, we need someone homegrown. You know what I mean? We need somebody that we draft to stay here their whole I mean, I mean, the last thing I want to do if there's one position I don't want to get in free agency for a position, it's cornerback, because it's so over. I mean, everyone gets overpaid in free agency. That's the truth. But when it comes,
would you bring Steven Nelson back cheap?
If he's willing to, if we don't have room to get another corner this year in the draft, sure, I'm fine with it. But could he command more money? He did like a goodbye message to Philly, so I don't know if he thinks he's done. He's not coming back. So I mean, maybe it's just a message to the fans, but they should bring him back if we're not making any moves at corner, because they're not dipping. We dipped in that too much in free agency for cornerbacks. They're too much money, and it's just not worth it. You know, it's not worth, you know what I mean? Like sooner or later, like, you know, it might not be for a while we pay for a quarterback, but you really have to start building this roster now. You really have to. That's why, like, there's no quarterbacks in this draft. You can't trade for a quarterback if Howie Roseman is monitoring the situation with these veteran quarterbacks, but doesn't make a move because it's going to cost too much. Because at the same time, I don't think he's given up multiple first. I want to see if he's got, remember big ball? You said big balls Howie in that Devontae Smith draft. I want to see if this guy has big balls to to see if he'll actually give up more than, if he gives at least one first round pick for a player, because in trades I have not seen him give up more than a fourth round pick. I haven't seen it yet.
I do believe, the one thing I will say about, I do believe he has balls, and I do believe he's very good at trades. So I like him in that regard. I do. You know, but he's got to pick the right guy. I even think Howie knows the formula. You build from the inside out. I think he gets it. It's just that he doesn't pick the right guys. You know, look, Derek Barnett he took, right? He could have had TJ Watt.
Yeah, no.
Right? You could have took him. And I had a lot of people on my channel at the time saying TJ Watt is the pick. TJ Watt is going to be a stud. And they could have done it. He could have took him. But he got the wrong guy. And we can't afford to miss picks in this draft. You just can't afford it.
No, they can't. Like, I'm saying, like, to go the smart route is to keep Jalen Hurts as the quarterback next year and build this damn roster. Trust me, we might have to suffer for another year if that's the case, depending if Gannon's still here on this defense coaching or whatnot. They have to build this roster this way. If you're one piece away, which I don't think they'll be one piece away by 23, but they'll have another offseason in free agency. They'll have more moves to make, and they'll have another draft. So you trade back that first round, one of the first round picks. You get your security for the future, and I think we just got to suffer another year. I just don't know if they're going to force anything, especially at the quarterback position. I don't know. And like, if you're monitoring Deshaun Watson, like we were, like, what does he think he's going to do? Fleece them? Like, at the time when all the allegations were going on, we were thinking, oh, he's trying to get him at the wrong time, at the right time, because there's all this crap going on and nobody's going to want him, and Philly's going to be like first in line. But I think having the 3 first-round picks, teams will stay on the phone with you because you got a lot of draft capital this year. So I think that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, I mean, I think most likely I think the plan is go with Hurts one more year. I think he did improve. He does deserve it. If for some reason Deshaun Watson became, cleared of all charges, of all wrongdoings, and he was good to go, I would go after him. I'm not gonna lie, because he's an elite thrower. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to stick with Hurts, and then the question is can Hurts develop into a decent passer? I think we don't know yet. I think we got to just kind of wait and see. I hope he does.
Yeah, but MB says, but Joey Wilson is the one that got away. If he's available, Howie will jump. He probably will. He'll probably
that is true. That is true. Howie really never got over the way I've never got over DK Metcalf. He's not gotten over Russell Wilson. He wanted Russell Wilson and waited. They just waited too long. So would that mean something? The other thing with Russell Wilson to think about is if you did get Russell Wilson and you can keep Jalen Hurts, you can literally let Jalen Hurts learn behind Russell Wilson for a few years, because Jalen Hurts and him, they're not so dissimilar, And I think that there would be an opportunity to actually keep Hurts and let him learn under Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I look, whether you're keeping Hurts, whether even with whatever they do with Gardner Minshew is going to be a big one, because I think there might be some teams that might be in the market for him.
What would you get? What would you give up for him? What's an acceptable trade from Gardner Minshew?
Like compensation coming back to the Eagles for him?
Yeah, what would you want? Like, what was acceptable to get?
I mean, at this point, like, if we get rid of him, like, look, I think we had rumors early before the trade deadline. The Panthers, this before they got a couple quarterback, they were kind of switching some quarterbacks around. So, I mean, there was rumors that, they were trying to give up a second, third round pick. I think nothing more than a third round pick. I agree. A third round pick is probably perfect in that range.
I go with third round pick as well. And if I can't get, if people don't want to give that, then I just keep him because he's cheap too. And you need a backup.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, I mean, Andre Moses trade Minshew to the Panthers. Panthers had interest, so I mean, that trade could happen. You could make a trade right there. It's possible. It's possible. So.
Why not? Darnold stunk. Well, let him use another quarterback that stinks. No, I don't know. Minshew stinks. A lot of people love Minshew. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
No,
but
but other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We're getting ready for the offseason. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of rumors, not just the draft, but because the Eagles have 3 first-round picks, there's going to be a lot of crap going all over the place on the internet. So don't believe everything you read, but take everything with a grain of salt.
Read it. That's what I do. I read it all. I don't believe it all, but I read it all.
Right. Any last things to say, Philly, before we end here?
Well, maybe we'll have war with Russia and just nuke everything, and we won't have to worry about shit. I don't know. No, I don't think. I'm just ready for it. The Howie Roseman thing gets me fired up, dude. That guy has caused me a lot of years off my life.
Yeah, this team needs change. I mean, after watching the playoffs, I'm like, this team needs to get their crap together. Stop doing the repetitive shit that they're doing every single year.
I would say this though in closing, I just think they got to be smart about making sure they have enough ammo and capital going into 2023's draft. If being most likely, because I think we all think they're going to stay with Hurts. You just got to make sure you're covered in case it doesn't work out. That's the thing that we got to remember.
Agreed. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. So before we end, we're not doing the Philly Shakedown on Sundays anymore because there's no games. So once the season comes back, we'll be doing the Saturday, Sunday. But what we're going to do, we're going to try to figure out a day throughout the week, middle of the week, and then do one on Saturday. So we're still going to alternate back and forth on channels. And then obviously when free agency comes, obviously with, the draft, the combine and stuff, we're going to, we'll figure some stuff out. Maybe do some collabs with a few things, but the draft, we're definitely going to be streaming for, 3 days straight. So definitely excited for that. And that's pretty much it. So 200 people in the chat. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, cover the Eagles every day. Subscribe to Philly 500 if you guys haven't either. A lot of content for you guys coming to the future. This offseason in 2022, new season, new year, and hopefully changes are made. So other than that, guys, we will see you guys later. Guys, remember, Shake Squad up, follow slide. Peace out, guys.
Peace,
guys.